answers lie because our spirit gives us strength, it guides us, and if we trust it, then we're able to move through and to experience life in a more bigger and grander way. Authentically, unapologetically, and most of all, with joy and peace and pure compassion.
Awesome. Tell them your last name.
Shawna Halley.
All right, Shawna Halley. Thank you for that. Thank you. And we have another beautiful young lady. And when she originally said something to me, when she wrote to me, she said, I think I'm a better writer than I am a talker or a speaker. But we gonna see about that tonight. We just having a conversation, girl.
Sure. My name is Darlene Scott. I'm an assistant professor of English at Virginia Union University. I'm also a writer and a visual artist. Visual artist mostly in private, a writer, I publish sometimes, and lastly, a fitness advocate.
Oh yeah, because where did I meet you all?
Yes, me and Ms. Shirley met at through the Fitness Warriors, which is a program of sports backers in which fitness advocates or people who are interested in fitness, such as myself, we go through a series of trainings to become group exercise instructors throughout the city and offer free classes. So I was offering free classes for about a year at Virginia Union University.
Yes, awesome. And see, what I want you all to know, Larry King, those of you that are familiar with him, I like to do my shows, the TV shows I do, and the radio shows like he does. When his audience hears answers, Larry's hearing it the first time too. So I am hearing for the first time about, I've known Shani, but I do not know Miss Darlene. I am here learning. This is exciting, girls. You women are awesome. I think I'm going to let her go first and just tell us a little bit more, because what I saw they made me a fitness warrior. I'm an honorary fitness. I've been wearing my shirt too, girl.
Okay.
Yes, I have. I wore it at the gym, and some ladies said, "Oh, I like that." You know, fitness warrior.
Yes.
They said they love it. They love it. But what I saw you had written in your particular in the fitness warrior on the Facebook page,
Yes.
you talked about you and a twin. You and your twin. Can you talk to us a little bit about that journey? I think you've written about it, you said.
Yes,
Okay.
I maintain a blog at darleneanitascott.wordpress.com. And on that blog, I think it was my 38th birthday, I wrote a story about my
Hey, girl,
twins.
you ain't much over 16. What you talking about? Wow.
Yeah, I wrote a story. One of the blog entries was about my sister and my twin sister and I's birth. And so when we were born, first of all, we were a surprise to our parents. We were the last of 5 girls. They were expecting this fourth child to be a boy.
Oh, my
Or
goodness.
hoping it would be a boy. It was not only not a boy, it was 2 of us. So my twin sister's name is Doreen, and my family is in Delaware. She's in Delaware.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're not here with you.
Right, they're not here with me. I relocated to Richmond to attend graduate school at VCU, and I ended up staying. So that was some time ago. Yeah. So Richmond is now my home away from home.
Awesome. A lot of people do that when they come here to school. I notice. I meet a lot of people like that. Yes.
It's very comfortable. As in, I come from a small town. If you know anything about Delaware, you know it's already a small state, so most of the towns are extremely small. Richmond has proven to be large enough for me to maneuver and to feel like I'm in a bigger place than that, but yet small enough that I feel comfortable.
See, that's
I think that's
wonderful.
what's kept me here.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. That's great. So tell me a little bit about you and your twin sister. A little bit about that journey.
Sure. So that journey began in February of 1975, actually. And when we came, we were about 3 or 4 months premature.
Really?
So not only were we not expected to be twins or girls, we also were not. There wasn't a really positive prognosis for us because not only were we premature, but we were extremely small. So in 1975, being 2 and 3 pounds respectively was extremely small. Of course, that is not as small as we've seen babies survive in more recent years. But in those years, that was almost a death sentence. However, I had a grandmother, my maternal grandmother in particular, who told my mother, do not listen to what the doctor had to say. And so we were nursed to health in the hospital. We came home. The prognosis was that we would always be developmentally and physically delayed. None of that has proven true. My sister is actually working on her doctorate degree at this time.
That is awesome.
And myself, of course, I'm a professor of English.
Yes, of course, of course. That is. Oh, I love that story.
Yeah.
I love that story. I love it.
Yeah. I think the title was I'm a Miracle. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You know that's right. You know that is right.
Something that I think I realized around 30 or 35 that, in fact, when I would look at obstacles, and I notice this in my twin sister as well, when we see obstacles, they don't always present as obstacles in the way that they seem to for others.
Yes,
They present as opportunities. And so we tend to be very, very driven and very ambitious. And as I was thinking about that around our birthday that year, I started thinking about why that was. And that's where I came up with the title, Wait a Minute. You know, every time that you think you're down, you've already, just by virtue of your birth, proven that you are not down and you will not be kept down.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Because I one of the things I love when you mentioned several things that's really close to my heart. And when you mentioned about the birth just now, I tell the story about the 92 billion sperms.
Yes.
Vying for an egg, and you'll see different numbers, but the principle of the story is what's important.
Right.
92 billion sperms vying for one egg.
Right. And you're the one that.
And you're the one that, I mean, 92 billion.
Yes.
And here you are, you showed up, and you know, you started at a winner.
Yes.
That doesn't change.
Right.
You know, that's set in stone.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
set in stone,
Yes.
girl.
Yes.
So I love that. I love that. And the other thing that you said about the being in the obstacle and what have you.
Yes.
Yesterday I just gave something out at Bellwood, and it's you all might have already seen it as two characteristics, the Chinese two characteristics. One mean opportunity, one mean opportunity, one mean danger. The same symbol.
Same symbol.
Same symbol. Yeah. One definition is danger, another one is opportunity.
Mm-hmm. It's all about perspective. Right?
Perspective,
Exactly.
our head and our thoughts. Our
Yeah.
thoughts. If we change our thoughts, we change our lives.
Yes.
Powerful stuff. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness, have you, Shawna, isn't that something?
That is.
Isn't that amazing?
And just to be able to look at life totally different from the way you were expected, with all the obstacles that you have to face, and project a different attitude towards the world in spite of. So
Right.
that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
and two, that's what gets me is somebody else put that on. That was their story.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
With all that stuff they told your mama
Right.
and stuff, and your
Right.
grandma knew something. You understand?
Right.
She knew somebody.
Right. Right.
Your grandma knew somebody,
Right.
child. Yes, she
Yes.
did. She knew
Indeed.
somebody. You hear me?
Indeed. Yes.
The woman knew somebody. That is so. I love that. You just give me chills. Oh my goodness. Now, what your mom and daddy say about you and them all them girls? They just love
But they
them to
love
death.
it.
I know it. They
We
ain't
are all
supposed to have no
daddy's
boys.
girls, right?
Yeah,
Right.
they'll get some boys.
They got the boys and the grandchildren.
That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. They'll get
Yeah.
some boys, but it's because of those girls they'll get
Right,
those boys. Yes,
right.
indeed. And grandchildren, I'm gonna tell you, they love them triple time.
Oh yes, I have been. Yes.
Aunties
I can
and
confirm
all.
that.
Yes,
Yes.
that is so
Get
awesome.
to spoil them and take them back home.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know that's right. You know that's right. Well, we're gonna give you a breather because we just love that story.
Sure.
Let's see, Shawna, you want to tell us a little bit more about you and your journey?
Sure. I'm originally from Guyana, South America.
Oh, Shawna, for real.
Yes, and I've been in America here now for about 29
God,
years.
God.
And I've actually lived in New York, I've lived in Florida, I've lived in Georgia, and I've been in Virginia for the past 9 years.
None. Where have you
Yeah.
lived the longest?
I've lived in Georgia the longest, but Richmond is coming up really fast on that.
Oh,
because
really?
It's been 9 years.
None. Okay.
Yeah. But I've been trying to leave Richmond for a while now, though.
You say you've been trying to
Yeah,
leave, trying
but
to
I
leave.
mean, yes.
Really?
But the path is set. I believe it's here because no
Okay.
matter what I try, I'm always
Really?
being drawn back to it.
Now, what reason do you have? Can you share the reason that you want to leave?
Well, I kind of feel like sometimes I'm not making as much progress as I want to make. And but what I had to find out, no matter where I go, I take myself.
Pam,
Yeah.
I've been telling my sister that for years.
So I had to stop, slow down,
Yeah.
and just kind of do some introspection to figure out what is it about you? Where are you going? For what?
Mhm.
And then calm down, and then just be still and let God guide me, and trust that He knows, and that I know, and that He allows me to know what I need.
Mhm.
And here in Richmond, actually, I wrote a book that was published in February, and what the birth of that book came out of a struggle of my own, where I felt like I invested in a business and I lost a lot of money, and I just wanted to give up on life. But God said it wasn't time yet. And
Yes.
He said, I have work for you to do. And it allowed me to get quiet and kind of move me through synchronizing people and just things, my whole journey, to allow me to get to a place where I start to write the poems. It's a book of poetry. I started to write the poems, and they spoke to me,
Mhm.
you know, as a person, and they
Yeah.
strengthened me and guided me. And it got to the point where I now know I'm coaching. I'm an educator by trade. I've been in the cosmetology industry for over 25 years. I've been an educator for 14 years, and I've been coaching for about 5 years. But coaching is really where coaching and healing is where I'm taking my business right now, because healing is supposed to be, you know, making people whole. But the thing about it is we're not broken. There's nothing wrong with us. It's just how we feel, how we perceive, how others project their thinking and their
Yes,
feelings on
yeah.
us. We feel like something is wrong with us, but there's nothing wrong with us. But we have to stop, be still, and know, right, that God is.
Yeah.
And greater is He that's in me. And if greater is He that's in me, then there's nothing wrong with me. I just have to realize my true potential and the greatness within myself. So that's where I am now, and I'm moving towards helping people to develop those inner qualities, turning in for help versus looking outward for validation and support.
Yeah, everything in the world, because of dollar bills, a lot of times encourage you to look out.
Right.
You know, and that's where we get lost. But my husband, I write for an online magazine that has gone syndicated and in 147 different languages and all this kind of, and another something else, 120, which I am shocked because it happened because of LinkedIn, somebody doing something on LinkedIn, and then she picked up my writing and stuff. She asked me to write for her. And I don't consider myself a writer, so I have to stop saying that because I've been writing for 2 years. And one of the stories that I've written about is you ain't got to be fixed because you ain't broke.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's one of the stories. That's both of y'all are saying things that just give me chills now. This is a prototype. You know, I'm looking at this now to look at it and stuff. But one of the stories in here talks because I pulled them and put them in here to 2 years worth. And my husband and I went to a counseling session with a minister, and that's one of the things he said to us. Now, you ain't got to be fixed because you ain't broke. And he said, whatever's going on, you need to fix that before you get a divorce or something, because you're going to take it into the next relationship. You know, fix that before you get a divorce. You understand? We've been married. We got married, neither one. We still married, you know. And it's a choice. It's a choice. I'm sure he chooses to stay there, and I'm choosing to stay there. But I just thought that was so profound. He said that you ain't got to be fixed because you ain't broke. And that's what you say, Shawna. That's what you say you're working on with individuals when you do your coaching and what have you, to let them know that it's internal.
Right. And also to allow them to understand that your background don't have to determine your future. It's a barrier, and what barriers do we have now that we're still holding on to that's not serving us? And those are things sometimes that people place on us, and sometimes it's things we put our own self in bondage.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I was listening to reading I think it was a Chinese proverb or something, but it's the guy went to his master and asked him, how can I be liberated? And the master told him, who told you were in bondage? So sometimes we put our own self in bondage, or we allow others to put us in bondage.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's only what we allow that takes place in our life. It's not what we really want or desire, but it's allowing the free
choices we make.
Right.
You're making the choice, and people. It's easier to blame it on somebody else.
Right.
And I often say, the serenity prayer,
Yes.
and that part about give me the wisdom to know the difference. I think we are real smart people because we spend a lot of time working on stuff that we can't change, so we won't have to change what we have to, what we need to, because it's too painful.
Yeah.
It is painful. What we're talking about here today is pretty painful, some things, and that's why people stay there. Dealing with that, like I said, I work with people that's been around shame, pain, and guilt too long. And you find that they don't even want to express it. You and I, and those of us here this evening, we talk about what's going on. And that's, as we said, that Robin says, make your mess your message. And that's what we do. We share our experiences, and hopefully that will help someone else.
Right.
Yeah. Tell me some more about some of the work that you do. As a professor, what are you doing?
So I teach compositions, world literature, and creative writing.
Oh, you do, lady. Oh, my
So
goodness.
I deal with a lot of 18 to 21-year-olds.
18 to, girl,
So
and you still
exciting.
sing. You're not on medication or anything?
I'm currently not on medication.
I like how you said that, currently. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Oh, my goodness.
Right.
18.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're excited. As much as they are a challenge, they're also exciting because it's kind of being on the pulse. Like sometimes I look out at them and I tell them that I'm looking at the future. Right?
Yeah.
And I get to touch that much of the future. So if every semester I teach approximately 100 to 125 students, then that means, and if they become different students, because sometimes we have students to come back, whether it be to come back for the next section or to repeat the course, which we hope doesn't happen. When I look out at them, I often tell them that, and I think about how many years I've been teaching, and I think about the teachers and professors who have been teaching way longer than me, and think about how many lives I've touched, or I've had the capacity to touch, because certainly, we're in that position, and we have a responsibility. I don't know if we all are able to take advantage of it, especially when we have a lot of students and a lot of things that we're dealing with. But every time I think about it, I always think about the sheer numbers and opportunities I've had to touch the future and to touch that many lives. And it's not something I take lightly.
I understand. And I can tell you, no matter who is in that class, how long, what, you have made a difference.
Yeah.
And it's not all the time the difference that you intended to make.
Right.
But we have that influence.
Sure.
My thing is I can't motivate. I know people say they motivate the speakers. I don't like saying that.
Right.
Because I can't motivate anybody and I cannot empower anybody.
Sure.
But I can tell you I've been given the gift to be able to influence it.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes.
I can influence that shift. I don't even like to use the word. People don't like the word change. So I use the word shift. I use the word shift. I can cause a little shifting, and I say that because I see it.
Exactly.
I see it in people that I work with, and they come and tell me. And if you read some of the stuff on Facebook, they will put it on there what has happened. I've been knowing you for X number of years, and this is I can see it.
Yeah.
Because it's a gift. When it's a gift, like I'm saying, whenever I talk, I'm listening myself.
Yes.
I understand what I'm saying.
Your ears are open.
Yeah, I need, I'm getting what I need.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always growing. So you can rest assured if they show up in your class, they got something, girl. And they totally got something. You hear me?
Yeah.
It can't be helped.
Yes. Right.
It can't be helped. It can't be helped. But I understand from where you're coming from as a teacher and stuff. But they getting something, girl. They getting something they can hold on to.
Sometimes I tell them I may not be able to see the shift, as you call it. I may not be able to see the shift in 1 year, in 1 semester, or even 4 years. But I'll probably see it, or they will see it in maybe 20 years. There are lessons that professors and elders in general gave to me or were attempting to give to me, information they presented to me, and I did not understand it at the time. It took me at least a decade, if not longer,
that's
to
a lot
say,
that's
what it was.
Yes, but you have to say it, and I say the same thing about children. You have to say it.
Yes.
They don't know unless you tell them.
Right.
They might not do and respond the way you want them to, but you got, you know, I always ask my kids, did you understand what I say? You know, can you repeat it back to me? So I know they know what I was.
Yes.
Then I don't say anything about it anymore.
Right.
Because, like you say, it takes time sometimes for some things
Yes.
to
We're planting seeds.
yes, and,
Right,
and if you don't plant it though, but if you didn't plant it, it wouldn't have
Nothing's
had the
gonna
opportunity to grow.
Right.
That is it, girl.
Right.
That is it. That is wonderful. And I appreciate your thinking
Thank
in
you.
terms of that, because that is so true, and sharing your experience with you. It was planted and you picked up on it, like you said, 10 years
Yes.
later maybe,
Yes.
but it was planted
But it
and
was
you had
planted.
that.
Right.
You had it there.
Right.
You didn't forget it. And it's the same thing with the people we work with, because both of us do a lot of the same thing. But how do you find clients when they come to you talking? Do you find that they talk around issues and you have to read between the lines and on the lines and all, and ask questions to get to the meat of the situation, whether it's a challenge or what have you?
Usually I do, because usually you have to sometimes you have to build relationships.
Oh, of course,
And,
of course.
you know, even like I tell my students sometimes, you know, you may be talking to someone or you may meet someone for the first time and you're having a conversation with them. 2 weeks later, you're having another conversation with them and they're telling you the same story. And it may be a little bit of variation in the story. And sometimes we assume people are telling lies, but they're not really lying to us. But I'm not going to tell you everything about me the first time I meet you.
Yeah.
So I'm just adding to, you know, so sometimes but we do have to ask questions, because they're not sometimes upfront about what their needs are or what. Sometimes they don't even know what their needs are.
Yeah, that's
And,
true.
you know, it's from promptings and asking certain questions that we kind of pull out of them and help them to clear up some of the fog. I would call it the fog in their mind, to see, okay, what is it that I really want? Because sometimes we ask for things and we really don't want it. When we get it, it's like, what?
Yeah, yes, yes. I got to tell people you better be very specific, because you're going to get what you ask for.
Right.
But if you're not specific enough, it might be something that, hey,
And
I've
you
never been with this.
And you know, sometimes we ask for things and it shows up and we forgot we asked for it.
Oh, God. Somebody mentioned that today. We forgot. Yep, here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
What I'm learning is that if we're not aligning ourselves truly with what we asked for, then we're not going to get it in the time frame. Sometimes you have to wait on it because we're really not ready for it.
Yes, yeah. I have a lady, she helps with marketing and branding, and she said something that I know is factual. You know how you buy stuff, you see stuff and buy it. She said, I wasn't ready for that stuff. She said she wasn't mentally ready. You know, she never used it. She bought it, but she never used it because she wasn't at the point that she understood enough, or was not ready for it. Now she can use it because she's moved on and moved on a little bit higher in terms of knowledge and exposure and stuff like this. But that happened to a lot of people, that they're not ready for a lot of things that they get.
And I heard you mention earlier about when you change your thoughts,
You change it.
you know, you can change your life. And I heard a story one time about our thoughts are like currency. And if you go out and because you have all this money, you just spend it you go to the store, you see a carpet, it's not something that you would like, but because you have the money to buy it, you purchase it. And then you send it home and you go to the other store and you just buy stuff because you have it. That's the way we use our mind. And you go home and you wonder, why do I have all this mess in my house? It's not stuff that I really like. That's how we spend our thoughts sometimes, using it to focus on things that we really don't want to accumulate in our life. And then the person that I heard it from said, you know, you have to be crazy to do that. So it's always about adjusting our thoughts and being aware of what is it I'm focusing on, what is it I'm giving my attention to every day. Is this truly what I want? And if that's not what I want, then I need to subtly, because we can't jerk ourselves back and forth, you know, we'll end up with whiplash. But just thoughts are like a conveyor belt, and we're always thinking, but when a thought comes into our mind that is not going to line up with what the life we want, then we just kind of let it go. Just let it go.
Very much,
exactly.
Yeah,
And I call it the rehearsal. You know, when thoughts show up that are going to be negative or not going to produce positive in my life, I just say, you know what? There's no rehearsal today.
No
And I don't keep rehearsing that thought, because you know whatever you give your attention to flows into your life. So
yes,
I
it
try
does,
not to.
and that is so true. I can't tell you how true that is. and it's like something I experienced. I have attended the Unity Church, old South Side. I started downtown. I like that church because it looks like the real world on Sunday morning. So I like that, and also I like the principal group behind it. And they talked about this book, and they gave I think it was 9 examples in there of the thoughts and how you can prove how much power we have as individuals. And like I told my husband this morning, God said that, I give you have more, we have, hopefully we will do better and more than he. Saying, look at what he did, and he said we're going to be more. Imagine believing that.
Right.
That is the key, believing it. We hear these things, but we don't believe it.
Right.
We don't believe it.
And we don't take action.
At all. That was my mantra for this year. Taking action. Yeah, you've been to the conference, you done took all them notes. You got all that stuff. When you gonna do something?
Right.
Take notes that we don't look at again.
Yeah, I pull that stuff out and and also I throw away some stuff too. And like some of the magazines, hey, I give it to somebody that can use it. We put some of our speakers magazine, and when people come to our meetings and give them a new memo package, the speaker magazine always have a video, not a video, but a CD or something in there, and the magazine have good information. So it's always somebody else that can use it. When somebody come to the house to help me, I can give away stuff when they say, Cheryl, it's time for somebody else to enjoy that now. Yes. I can always turn it loose there.
Making room for more, right?
Yes. Well, the young man is telling us over here that we got to sell something. We got to make some money. We got to make some money. So don't you dare touch that dial. These beautiful young girls will be right back, and we'll be chatting just a little bit more. Hang in there. Y'all, this is the bomb. This is
great energy. Great energy.
I promise. Y'all give me chills. That is something.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, the words.
This is Tanya Free. Donald Trump is going to be our next president. I am still in shock. What did we miss? He's going to make America great. Really? Does that mean great for all of us? Let's talk about this Wednesday on the Tanya Free and Friends Talk Show, 2 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Central.
Join Tanya Free and Friends at TanyaFree.com.
People like that.
On air, online, and
He's all right with me because he's my brother then, but
Preston Brown is live and funny. Dig on the many sides of Preston Brown. Check out Preston Brown.
I'm scared that he says something, and that young boy that killed his
Preston
uncle.
Brown is singing in cancer.
I'm just afraid he gonna put his hand. He's been practicing. He's been doing the conjure the last 2 or 4 months. I was waiting for it. We can push that little button over there. And that's what I'm doing. Because whoever get in there, because my thing is they crucified Jesus. That was pretty radical. But if you look at what happened because of his crucifixion, so I see him, this man, with his mess, something good will come out of this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I'm looking at it.
I feel like too, if God allowed it, there's a reason it's going
Yep.
So no, it's almost like if you go against it, it's going against
Yeah.
God. Because he's allowing it.
Yeah, God
For a
run
reason.
God run this stuff.
Right.
God run this
the
stuff.
ordination service for Reverend Evelyn P. Harris on Sunday, November 20th at 4 o'clock p.m. at Good Shepherd Baptist Church, 27 North 28th Street in Frisco.
Get this thing.
If you need to rent a car today, consider Easy Car Rental, 3101 West Broad. Let Car Rental Superstar CL Bell get you in a small, medium, or large car. Call 804-358-3406. Easy Car Rental. Easy Car Rental. $29.95 a day. No credit card needed, and they'll pick you up virtually anywhere in the Richmond area. Free. Easy Car Rental, 3101 West Broad. 804-358-3406.
He said for counsel.
CL
Whether he
Bell.
tell the truth or not, I don't care. If he
Summer
said it
Console
like the word
Jams
murder,
is the only syndicated radio show based out of Richmond, Virginia, who gets a finger on the pulse of what moves the nation. I am the big group inviting you to join me. No, imploring you to join me Friday mornings from 9 to 1 and late nights on 1450 WCLM and all my friends all over the globe. WCLM Radio Online.
reaction. It was symbolic. You know, see, but have you looked at the third verse in this song?
I haven't read it. I heard
Okay,
about it.
look at the third verse in this song. It talks about slaves and stuff like this. Like we do things, you know, like I pledge allegiance because that's what they did when I was in school. No, I didn't know why. And you still get up, people get up and do it. You still doing stuff. You do a lot of stuff because you see people do it. You don't even understand it.
Autopilot.
Huh?
We're
Yeah.
operating on autopilot.
Yes. We don't even know. We don't even know. Okay. We are back. We are back. And we have been having a good time doing the mission, talking and talking and talking. And so I'm just going to let the girls, if there's something specific you want, I don't know whether any of you all got anything coming up, anything you want to share in reference to anything you coming up and want our audience to know about it. Do either one of you have anything coming up?
I don't have any events or anything coming up.
Okay,
I
but
need
teaching
to do
those
more.
kids, that's what you're going to do.
That's my event.
But tell me about the book. Where can we get your book?
I don't actually have a book out right now.
On your
so
blog.
I've been looking. My blog is where I put everything.
That's where this come from.
Yes. So
So you already got a book, but just ain't finalized, right?
right. I have the manuscripts. I do actually have manuscripts. In fact, one of my manuscripts is about Jonestown, Guyana.
Wow.
It's a collection of poetry as well. So that collection tries to reimagine the congregants of the People's Temple who ultimately were coerced into suicide, but reimagine them as individuals and not so much as the consequence of their death, the circumstance of their death. So that manuscript exists. It has not found a publisher yet, but maybe in 2017
I'll
is the year.
refer you to somebody to talk to.
Okay, that sounds
You
good.
would be extremely pleased.
Okay.
You would be extremely pleased. Even you don't have to use her, but just to talk to somebody, give you some ideas.
Sure, that would be
Yeah, and you do that. That helps you take that other step. You understand?
Right.
Is it okay for me to give her your information?
Absolutely.
I will copy you and give her your name.
Okay.
Okay. Good. All right, young lady, you got anything? Miss Shiny?
Well, my book of poetry was self-published in February, but it's already. I'm going to be republishing it in January with Balboa Press. Now it's just you can only get it through me,
Okay.
but when it's published in January, you can get it on the internet, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and it'll be published in 17 countries.
Awesome.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And if you need to contact me for more information, you can reach me at Prism of Transformation, PRISM of Transformation.com, and also on Facebook at Prism of Transformation. I'm excited about life and what's happening, and I'm looking forward to the adventure tomorrow brings. And I just wanted to add, I was reading one of Miss Shirley's article, and she talked about.
Now I'm always surprised to read.
She was talking about how she look at life as being just showing up every day, ready to learn, as an apprentice, ready to learn. Okay. Ready to learn, and I think that's the best way to show up in life because we're always teaching and we're always learning. Whether we think that we're in front of a class, someone is always looking at us, and I believe that that's the best way to approach life because there's always new exciting things happening, and we approach it with excitement like the children, and we look at them and we see them laughing and carrying on. Sometimes we have put too many layers between ourselves and happiness that we don't even enjoy the really, 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 really simple things.
Yes.
So
I just responded to that on Facebook in the car before I got in here. Yeah, because somebody put out there something about their grandchild that they bought something Frozen from Frozen or something. So you got to get a good coupon. Yeah, get a good coupon. She goes somewhere and she purchases the stuff. She said the child jumped up and down, was almost delirious, almost crying with joy. It was so good to get happy to do. And she said the same thing you just said, that we've lost that peace and joy, or the expression of joy and all. And I told her I was sorry I didn't get that rude. Because I will holler and scream and stuff like this. Hey, I am glad to be alive, haven't had blood clots in my lungs, in my leg, hip replacement and stuff. And, those things that first couple of things I mentioned, most people are dead.
Yeah.
And I had a doctor come into to the emergency room when I went to the hospital. He wasn't in there to treat me, but they had told him she has blood clot. He come in. I said, you used to seeing people dead with that. He said, yeah. That's what I asked him, because he wasn't in there to treat me. And he asked me, how did I know? I said, because I know how I felt. You know, I knew how I felt. You know, when you can sit down, you're all right, and you get up and you move and you out of wind, you know, and don't feel good and dizzy and stuff. But I'm going to tell you that life, we need to laugh more. We need to, I made a commitment to speak to more people. And, you know, I'm already that way, but I'm going to do more. People that I don't know. I'm going to say thank you to people that hold the door open for me.
Yes.
And I'm going to hold it open. I'm going to continue to hold it open for people.
Right.
You know, I'm going to wave at more folks. I'm country people. You see, I'm country. I'm going to wave at more folks.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat my horn of just wave, see somebody. The power of one is, I just believe in the power of one.
Sure.
Each one of us that's the only way things going to change. Each one of us, you where you are,
Yes.
you where you are,
Right.
and me where I am. That's the way things will get better. It's for each one of us to do this, you know. Each one of us have to do what we sent to do. Otherwise, it won't get done.
Right.
Can't nobody do what Shawna do. Nobody can do what you do.
Right.
Only you can get done what you, because nobody can do it like you, nor you.
Right. And it said this life is not a dress rehearsal. So
Yeah.
every day we get up, we need to be doing
Yeah.
whatever makes us happy.
Yes.
You can plan something all you want. That's when I say I just get a report for duty.
Right.
I
Right.
planned. That's when I thought I wouldn't get a chance to put nothing out there, but y'all, I was so done. Because I have to make the PDF JPEG to really send a, and I got to learn how to do that. If I had time today to practice it, I would have done it. But I said I'm going to type who these ladies are coming and what are we going to be talking about.
Right.
And just get that out there. Just all the people need to do is just tune in.
Sure.
But, you know, life is too short as long as.
It is.
That is long as.
Yes.
That's, you know, so my thing is just that peace and joy. I just think because I have peace and joy, things don't bother me like it bothers other people. It just does not bother me like, you know, send somebody else in, which is normal, or send somebody else off. It don't bother me. Yesterday I went to Bellwood, as I've said before. I got caught in the turnstile, you know, the thing you walk through.
Yes.
And it took about 10 minutes for them to get that thing straight. Well, I wasn't upset about it because that's how my life is.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You understand?
Right,
It's
right.
fine. People would be freaking. They would be freaking, and the fact that people with me were freaking, I said, I'm fine. I ain't gonna stay here forever. I'm
Right.
I'm gonna get out of
Right.
this thing. But I told them, I said, look, this is how my life is. I'm just hoping. See, it has already happened for the
Sure.
day, and so the rest of the day gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But y'all understand my point.
And
Yes,
I really,
Mhm.
what I like about that too is I'm getting that way myself,
Mhm.
and it's because I no longer look outside of myself, and I'm not attached
Yeah.
to outward. I just know, okay, if this is happening, it must be a reason.
Yeah.
And I just ask the question, God, what is it?
What it is.
What does it? What
Right.
does this mean?
Yeah.
Right.
What
You know?
lesson is this?
Exactly.
What lesson is this? Because and what is helpful, you're using your mind to determine that. You're not waiting for 100 years later to figure it out. But right now, this is taking your mind off the situation per se, but you're looking for something else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're looking
Yes.
for something else, and that's what people don't know either. You know, when you're in it, just paying attention. Because that quote I said was my quote. Pay attention to those big little things,
Right.
Yeah.
because that's usually where the joy and peace
Right.
is. Pay attention, and the more we pay attention, and the more we're open to the universe, the more we're open to the universe, the better things get.
Yeah.
The better things get.
And there's an example I think about sometimes being open to the universe. You know, if you have to, you can't give what you don't have.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And if you have two glasses, where I'm going to compare them to individuals, I can't pour into you what I don't have in me.
Right.
So if I have a lot of anger and frustration and all those negative energies, that's all I'm going to pour into you. And it's up to you if you're going to allow me to pour that into
Right.
you by coming in your space, by allowing, you allowing me to be in your area, because whatever comes out of my mouth is coming to you.
Coming to you.
So we have to just be mindful of when someone is in our presence and allowing the universe to guide us, how is that person leaving me? Is that person leaving me feeling upbuilt and light and feel like they are unstoppable, or do they feel way down and depressed? And so it's, what am I pouring into others? And if I want to pour in positive or things that are going to be nurturing, then I need to make sure I put that into myself.
Right.
Yeah, because I work for a company out of New York, and I work in corporations and stuff. One of the things I teach, they call ideas for something. You understand?
Yes.
You don't have to answer every call.
Right.
Because people can pull you down fast, you can pull them up.
Right.
And let me tell you, it's family.
Yeah.
You start with your family. Because that's where, we think just because they can, that we got to answer the phone, we think because they can, that everything will be fine and wonderful. Like Thanksgiving come and people looking to be all, if your brother was crazy when he was little, he's still crazy. Just because it's Christmas or Thanksgiving, it don't change. And you have to recognize this. It's not that you don't, like the counselor asked me one day, said, if your mother and your sister lived down the street, would you still like them? It sounds like an odd question, but it's real in this life. Everybody ain't got good parents in terms of loving and caring.
Yes.
And I learned that my mother was wonderful in terms of helping me with my children and keeping me so I could go to work. And she said, Shirley, I'm just trying to keep them alive till you get back home. But my challenge was that, you hear other people talking about their parents hugging them and all like this, and I didn't have that from my mama, And, but you know what I learned? She couldn't give me just what she just said. And I said this out loud when I speak. She could not give me what she didn't have. So the counselor told me, so Shirley, if you want to be hugged, then you hug her. If that's what you want. She said, if you want to be hugged, then you hug her. And I hugged her. But of course, I had to say, you my mama, I can hug you if I want to. This is what
right.
as I went to hug. You know what that 92-year-old woman told me? Everybody needs to be touched.
Wow.
But she couldn't give me, and I know this.
Right.
She couldn't, because she did other things that showed love and stuff like that.
Yes.
She helped me so much. She helped me so much. And, but I just, but little Shirley, like 4 or 5, 3 feet Shirley, it still feels that. But, Shirley T that you're looking at, the grown Shirley T understands, but the feeling.
Right.
The feeling, So that's my granddaughter taught me how to love, because she would leave home with her mama in the morning, go down the steps and say, I got to go back, I got to hug Pom Pom. She's 30-some years old, and this child still calls me Pom Pom.
Oh, okay.
I love it! I love it, Pom Pom. And her boy calls me Pom Pom. Yes! But she taught me, and that's when I started then hugging the rest of my sisters and my brothers.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I tell them that I love them. They weren't doing that. None of us were doing that. But that child taught me. That child taught me. I paid attention.
Right.
She won't go to that house without her. She's headed down the step, mama trying to get to work and stuff. And she said, no, I got to go back. I got to hug Pom Pom.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And we took the lessons. We got to look at the big little things to give us peace and joy. That's why, I said, it's my quote. Somebody else might have said it, but I ain't seen it nowhere. But I have experienced it. I've lived it. I have lived it.
And the saying goes to, whatever's missing from your life is what you're not giving away.
Oh, repeat that so the audience can hear that in the weekend too.
Whatever is missing from your life is what you are not giving away.
What you're not giving away.
That's what's missing. You can't accept something that you're not willing to give.
To give, okay. That's
It's not going to come to you.
Not going to come. Hey. So that's why, I tell people I have never been broke. I really haven't. I've been bent. Pretty heavy. I've been bent, but I have never been broke. And you always can find a nickel or something somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at what the woman say, always money for coffee.
Right.
But it's the mindset.
Yes.
It's the mindset, I might have been broke, but I ain't claiming it.
You didn't know that.
I didn't know it. I didn't know it. And I didn't know I was poor until I've gotten grown. And when I say poor, I'm talking about the world standard. And the world standard in terms of being rich or poor.
Right.
But I think I was pretty blessed and pretty rich because I had a whole lot of love coming from both parents.
Yes.
Coming from both parents, and a lot of people don't have that.
Right.
And when I hear about what happened to people with their own fathers and mothers and different things like that, I'm even more grateful of how my parents treated me. It makes a big difference. Shawna, tell them how they can get that book again and stuff like this. I don't know what time it is. We ain't got too long, but I want to make sure.
Okay, the book will be relaunched in January. January 15th is around that time is the deadline. And you can come to my website at prismoftransformation.com. PRISM of transformation.com.
Okay.
Or my Facebook page.
Okay, what's the name of your book?
It's called Prism. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to say the name again. It's called Prisms of Poems.
Well, explain
Lost
the
and
title of
Found. Oh, okay.
because most of us might not know what prism is.
Okay, a prism is actually a symbol of and a reflection of light. And the reason I chose
reflection of light.
Yeah. The reason I chose the prism because I am a prism and I reflect light, and I see myself as being guided by God and the Spirit to do the work. So there's God on one side, the white light, right?
Yeah.
And I'm the prism, so I'm always having to be mindful of what position I stand in. That way my light is not blocked.
Yeah.
And who I'm around, because I need to make sure I reflect the right type of light to everyone I come in contact with.
Go ahead, girl. Awesome. That is powerful stuff. Totally powerful stuff. You said it's poetry?
Yeah, it's poetry.
I met a young lady at the speakers thing, when you made me think of her, in July of last year. She was in a situation where one tribe was killing each other. I can't
Rwanda?
Yeah,
Hotel Rwanda? I don't
something
know.
like that, yeah. And her daddy was a businessman, a teacher or something, and he lived next door to a man who was not of his tribe. But he sent her to hide in his house, in that man's house. Her and 4 women stayed in the bathroom.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
Live to Tell. She have a book called
That's her.
Live
That's
to Tell.
Live to Tell. That's the name of it. She stayed in that room, that bathroom with the 4 of them stayed in that one. Didn't ever come out because I don't think people in the house knew, aside from that man, that they were even there. It was a bathroom that nobody used and stuff. And what got me was she asked God to show her if he was real and stuff. And the people came to search the house and all, and they reached for the door, and they looked at the man and said, "We know you honest and stuff like that." So they didn't even they reached, never touched that doorknob.
And she learned to read English. She learned to speak English. Read first. She had just a book, and while she was in that space.
Yes, 4 women.
Yeah.
Never coming out there.
Wow.
I forgot how long she was in there, but it was a good while. And then they showed film of her after that. The TV cameras were there, and she would come say, "Come on, take a picture with me." That was the people that were killing each other. That's the people. And people said, "How can you do that?" She said, "Love is the only way that things gonna change." That's the reason I wanted to say something. It was so powerful to see her and be in her presence. Live to tell a story. It's powerful stuff. And there are people that are carrying the message. Again, I say there's power in one. The power of one, and it's got to be each one of us.
Right. And the ripples.
It does. It's just how it's supposed to be. It's how it's supposed to be. And what I love is you don't have to believe it because it is. I love it. It is. It just is. Yeah, it doesn't matter, whether we talk against it or who talk against it. Every day is proven.
Right.
It's proven every day. They might not know, but those people that know it when they see it.
Yes. And most people crave it.
Yeah, and they don't know what they're craving.
Right.
I think that's the other mystery. They don't know it when they're craving it. They don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
when I teach, neither one of y'all have experienced being in a class that I've taught, but I've had people, I've said stuff, and I say out loud, I say, why did I have to say this? I hate it. I just, then, and the class over, 2 or 3 women come and say, you had to say it because I was here. You just because you sent to do something don't mean that it's easy and you were, your flesh said, what is wrong? Why? But you got to take the message. Because my thing is I've been puked up on the show by the wheel a couple of times. I don't like it. I don't like that being puked up on this show. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it at all, girls. I don't like it. I don't like it. So, and you're gonna get in touch with somebody, and you're gonna get your blog out so people can read about, especially with your story.
So you can kind of follow the work that I am doing with Marrow, which the collection is called Marrow. About Jonestown, Guyana, I keep a record of what's going on or the journey that it's taken me on my blog. So my blog is my full name. It's Darlene, Darlene, Anita, Anita, Scott, SCOTT.wordpress.com.
Okay, .wordpress.com,
yes.
And you said Darlene, Darlene.
Yes.
Okay, that's the way I spell it. Sure. I always love for you to questions.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
What struck you to want to write about Jonestown?
Well, I'm very image driven. I think I was saying that I'm a visual artist in private mostly. In any case, because of that, Jonestown happened in 1978.
Right.
And I always had the images in my mind, but didn't know what those images were. So that I point out that it was 1978 because I was 3 years old.
You were 3
I
years
remember
old.
that.
Right.
You was only 3. You was
only
only 3 years old.
And you had images?
And so the images made me interested in why I saw all of these people, particularly people of color, because they appeared on the magazines that used to be on my parents' coffee table. Yes, were Jet usually and Ebony, right? And so on Jet, I remember there were 2 things that I remember from my childhood. I remember the Jonestown massacre because I now remember those images. I now realize that's what those images were, and the Atlanta child murders, which happened when I was in about elementary school. Yes.
Right.
And what was happening was I was seeing a lot of images of people who looked like me who were dead, and I think that's why those 2 incidents, events resonated with me. And then the more research I did on what was this image I was seeing when I was 3 years old and could remember as an adult, when I started reading about them, that is the People's Temple. I fully understood what would have taken them to Guyana. I still can't say that I understand what would have led them to accept suicide as their only option out, but I felt like I understood anyway.
Would a thought come in your mind that they were taken over by this minister that they believed so much in, and they went there, even after a U.S. congressman went there to try to get them to leave?
Right. When Leo Ryan went, actually the same day that he went is the day that the suicides happened.
Yeah.
So when he went over there, because of the way they portrayed what they call it, the agricultural project, because they portrayed the compound as being a positive thing, he didn't actually know. And it wasn't until he was actually getting on the plane, which is when they decided they had to kill him, that 2 members passed along letters, and he opened the letters, and the letter said, "What you see is not what's really happening here." And it was at that point that they figured, we're going to have to murder him because now he's a witness, and then we also have to die. Or at least that's the way that Jim Jones presented it to us.
We're running up on time, but I just want to ask you this because what you say in all of your research, that you see a lot of that in the last 35 to 40 years of ministers taking over
I
people's
think in
minds.
their way they are. And I think that's another thing that attracts me to it. That is the danger.
Right.
But people, then, if we look at the time, people
Mhm.
were searching for something.
Something.
We had just left the civil rights movement, but
Right.
we didn't see the results that we expected.
Right.
And I think the same thing is happening now, and that's that is what draws people
History
to
repeats
these
itself.
Yes,
exactly.
it does.
And a
what's
lot of
happened?
times we did not
Right.
want to talk about Jonestown.
Right.
And because we didn't talk about it, that's how history will repeat itself.
And unfortunately, a lot of black
Repeat.
people,
Sure.
and it happened to most of us, to
Yes.
want to drink that poison,
Yes.
cyanide.
Yes.
And all
Approximately 80% of
Yes.
the population was
Was
African
African.
American.
Really?
Yeah.
And the many bodies
Mm.
that they brought back to this country.
Right.
And so my feeling was then and is now,
Yes.
our people, as the scriptures say, are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Until we learn to know who we are,
Sure. Sure.
we'll always
Yes.
keep following other people.
Yes,
Right.
yes. that
Looking
is
for
so-
leaders.
Right.
Looking for leaders.
Yes.
Looking within.
Right. And we just said that
Yeah.
we have to find it from within.
Yeah.
That
And I
was
think
right.
sometimes too that people don't want to take responsibility for their own actions, so they're always they want to be able to say, "Well, she told me
Yeah,
to do it," or "He
yeah.
told me to do it," instead of finding knowledge, taking the time to go ahead and research and get the knowledge for themselves.
Mhm.
They will always want to be able to blame somebody else.
Mhm.
Totally, totally. That is, it's powerful stuff, especially
That
since, you
man
know.
had a lot of power.
Yes, he did.
We did.
And there are a lot of people close around in Richmond with the same thing.
With the
You hear what I
same,
say?
same thing.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, because people have shared information with me, and it's just, I'm telling you, it's the same thing. Somebody
I know.
shared, you know, like, they write checks out for $35,000
Mhm.
Wow.
to the
Right.
church and stuff.
Sure.
You understand?
Sure.
On
They're
any
no-
given
they're-
Sunday, right in this town,
Mhm.
over $10 million is taken up
In the church, I know.
in the church.
Yep.
I've been a musician in the church for over 30. My father was a pastor, but he was not like that.
No, I understand.
But I've been a musician in the churches, especially, well, I won't say just the Baptists. I played in Catholic churches and all. And the money galore. But we take the same money as black people, and we won't even support our own.
No, no,
Right.
that's true.
You know,
That's true.
even your college. For years on that same corner, and have not moved or have not progressed to move further
Forward.
on down the
On
street,
Lombardi Street.
on Lombardi Street.
Like-
They should have had
Maggie
from-
Walker.
Maggie Walker School was offered to them,
Yes.
free of charge.
Free.
Free.
My students just asked me, "Was
And they
this
would
true,
take-
Miss Scott? Is this true?" I said, "This is true."
Amazing. They wouldn't accept it?
Just like the scriptures say, they got so much knowledge, as Curtis Mayfield said, educated fools from miseducated
Oh, yeah.
schools.
My husband says they're educated beyond their intelligence.
Yeah.
That's what he
Wow.
loved to
But
say.
the poet,
Yeah.
Curtis Mayfield say,
Yeah.
educated fools
Yeah.
from miseducated schools.
Yes, yes, yes.
But we got to go.
Okay, this is Shirley T. Burke, and I'm the founder of Esteem Institute. My telephone number is 804-307-6616. Where I'm a coach, I have retreats, I have workshops, and just like these other ladies here, making a difference. Making a difference. Making a difference. You all hang in there. Remember, pay attention to those big little things. That's what can bring us more peace and joy.
You've been listening to Healthy Mind, Healthy Body, Healthy
Yeah.
Spirit with
I
your
am
host,
so proud of y'all.
Miss Shirley T. Burke. Stay tuned again next week, same time. Speaking from the heart with your
Very
hostess,
interesting.
Gloria
And I
Taylor
don't even
Edwards,
know that much
will be
about
back
Jonestown.
on
I
live
was
from
born in
6
'71.
to 7 p.m.
I learned more,
Good night.
mostly about it when I came to America.
Really? And that's how it is, because people don't talk, but they don't.